you can't throw the interception that he threw, marching down 10, in a position to cut the gap and put the Giants on their heels. You can't throw the interception that he threw with about 11 minutes left. You can't do it. You just can't do it. That's a disastrous mistake on the part of Jalen Hurts. We see the numbers right there. Jalen Hurts, 24-33, 283 yards, a touchdown pass, and interception, just 13 rushing yards with Jaxson, 17 of 25 for 195 yards. He also threw a nice touchdown catch, not a nice touchdown pass. Not only did he do that, he scampered for a touchdown run, and he ended up rushing for 58 yards on the evening. He's the second leading rusher on the team right now with 167 yards. Number one on the team is this cat, Cam Scatterboo, who is, he's tough and he's rugged. He loves contact, and the more the game wanes, the more he pushes the envelope, the more he presses you. He comes right at you. 98 yards on 19 carries, averaging over 4 yards a carry on the season thus far. He's showing his impact coming out of Arizona State. He's the right guy, the right makeup, the right mentality for the New York Giants, and you just can't say enough about him. And if you're the New York Giants, and if you're Brian Daboll, these two are godsends. These two are godsends. Because they go out there, they give it all they have. They're not afraid. They've got swag to them, not just game, but swag. And they ingratiate themselves with that New York faithful, which is very, very important right now. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, it's a different mindset. Right now, the Giants have a better story to tell than the Eagles, and the Eagles are 2 games better than the Giants in their own division. Right now, they're 4-2 on the season. The Giants are 2-4. The difference is the Eagles have lost 2 straight. The Giants shouldn't have lost last week to the New Orleans Saints, courtesy of 5 turnovers, but they beat the Chargers the week before that in Jaxson Dart's first NFL start. And so now as you look at all of this on the come up right now, the New York Giants are a team to be reckoned with. If Jaxson Dart continues to look the way that he looks, and most importantly, inspire the way that he inspires, I would caution them to be careful, because when he went down and had to be taken into the tent, Brian Daboll nearly had a heart attack running up in there. That's why the NFL is investigating their concussion protocol as we speak, because they think that the coach may have played the role in influencing Jaxson Dart getting back out on that field when he may not have needed to, because he may have suffered a concussion. Giant fans at this particular moment don't care, and why should they? You're the Eagles, however, you should care a lot. They just look completely discombobulated. The Eagles are looking so unimpressive, it's scary. First 4 games of the season when they were 4-0, they were throwing the football 25 times a game. Over the last 2 games, courtesy of A.J. Brown and Dante Smith, wide receivers for the Philadelphia Eagles, complaining quietly, indirectly, about the play calling, about the lack of activity coming their way. They've thrown the ball 35 times over the last 2 games, compared to the 25 over the first 4 games. They were rushing the ball at 32.8 times per game in the first 4 games. That has dropped to 15.5 attempts a game. How do you run the ball 15 times a game with Saquon Barkley in your backfield? How do you justify that? Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Points per game have dipped from 27 to 17 over that span. And of course, they went from 4-0 to 0-2 over the last 2 weeks. They passed the football 71 times and only rushed it 31 times over the last 2 games, both losses. And did I mention that they've been 3-20? That's 15% on 3rd downs over the last 2 games. 149 last night. It's bad in Philadelphia. It's bad in Philadelphia. And somehow, some way, a question needs to be asked. And I know my man T Love from Philly is going to call up eventually. And damn it, this is the day he needs to, because we need some explanations. Why is it that the offense is being called predictable? Why is it that the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles is being called boring? Boring and predictable. Is it that you got a new offensive coordinator for the first, calling plays for the first time? Because Kellen Moore is gone as last year's offensive coordinator because he took the head coaching job in New Orleans? And if things are so predictable, and all but 2 plays were out of the shotgun, all right? No lining up behind center, no play action fake, no RPOs, none of that. Just Jalen Hurts lining up behind center in the shotgun. Where's the lack of innovation? Is it that Jalen Hurts is not comfortable? Is it that Nick Sirianni and his staff don't believe in Jalen Hurts? What's the reason? Because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are looking at them. They were wide open yesterday. He missed Devontae Smith wide open twice. He missed with that interception that he threw. A.J. Brown was 10 yards behind, wide open in the end zone. Wide open. Wide open. And he didn't get the ball. So Philadelphia definitely has some problems. And we all know that. And they have a lot of explaining to do. And they tried last night as to what the hell is going on. Let's hear from some of them. Play that sound, guys.
Take ownership for it. You know, a lot of autonomy, and a lot of opportunity there with the ball in my hands. And given those situations, I have to be wiser and more detailed with it. So always looking inward first. You know, looking inward on the things that I can control. And, you know, I see a lot of opportunity in this. Wasn't good enough on our end.
Hell no, it wasn't. Hell no, it wasn't. It's real easy to blame Jalen Hurts, and sometimes it doesn't appear like he deserves it. Last night he did. Last night that game is definitely on him. Now, to keep in mind, you got the Eagles. They lost cornerback Quinyon Mitchell to a hamstring injury in the first half, so their defense was compromised to some degree. We all know that. We know their offensive line, they've had some issues. They're better at pass blocking than run blocking, which would explain why Saquon Barkley isn't getting the football nearly as much as he should, but it doesn't appear to be an excuse at all. It's quite shocking at how bad the Philadelphia Eagles look. Remember, Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jalen Carter, he didn't play because of a heel injury. Three-time Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson did not play either because of an ankle injury. So we got to take those things into consideration. But in the end, there's still no excuse for a Super Bowl champion to look the way that the Philadelphia Eagles looked last night. They just didn't look good at all, okay? And I'm looking at it from that standpoint. But the one thing that I can't escape, and I got to look at this. And I had to share this with y'all because I'm looking at the New York Giants from this standpoint. You know who's got to be miserable? Even more miserable than the Philadelphia Eagles or the city of Philadelphia? It's got to be a New York Jets fan because of the state of the New York Jets. What an abomination. What an abomination and how bad they've been. And I bring that up because one of the things that I took the liberty of doing was I said, you know what? The Giants drafted Jaxson with the 25th pick in the draft. The Jets were in need of a quarterback and took an offensive lineman. Now, I understand how important your offensive line is, but they desperately needed a quarterback, and their answer was Justin Fields. And they tried to sell everybody on Justin Fields. And you've got talent on the New York Jets. They've got to be miserable. Aaron Glenn is their 6th head coach. And Darren Muji is their 6th general manager since the team last reached the playoffs in 2010. You think the Giants are bad. The New York Jets haven't won a division title since 2002. They haven't won the AFC East since 2002. And they're the only team with multiple top 5 drafted quarterbacks since 2018. And neither is still with the team. Sam Darnold, we know what he's doing in Seattle last night. We know what he did last year in Minnesota. But we also know about that 13-25 record he has as a starter with the New York Jets. Zach Wilson, the 2nd overall pick in 2021, spent 3 disastrous years with the Jets, 12-21 as a starter. He's now a backup in Miami. I'm just looking at this right now. And I'm saying Jaxson Dart ends up with the New York Giants instead of the New York Jets. That's an organizational disaster. And think about this. The Giants are the new game in town. They're the team that's galvanized folks in the New York City tri-state area courtesy of football because of what they have. And this is a New York Giants team that hasn't had a division title since last winning the NFC East title in 2011. Since their Super Bowl win following the 2011 season, the Giants have 1 double-digit win season, 10 losing seasons in the last 13 years. Their 37.4 winning percentage is the 4th worst in the NFL, only behind the Jaguars, who are the worst, the Jets and the Browns. Only 2 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win, 6 different head coaches, including 1 interim, 3 different general managers, two controversial handlings of starting quarterbacks with Eli Manning's mentioned in 2017 and, of course, Daniel Jones released in 2024. And by the way, Daniel Jones is in Indy looking like an MVP candidate. But now the Giants got Jaxson, who, by the way, can run with the football, plus throw the football, plus got swag, plus really ingratiates himself with the New York faithful. Everybody loves him. Him